we are finally launching the iSchoolConnect test prep, where we will be assisting you with all important overseas education tests, be it GRE, GMAT, IELTS, TOEFL, or even SAT. This channel is what studying abroad dreams are made of. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel iSchoolConnect. Like every week, we're back with some really interesting content. And this week, we will be talking about a student experience, and very specifically, we will be talking about giving the GMAT test. And to talk to us about his own experience, we have Biswaji with us. Hi, Biswaji.
Hi, Malvika. How are you? Hi, everyone. Yeah, anyone who is watching.
Hi, Biswaji. So nice to have you here. Really excited to learn from you, your experience giving the test, and your suggestions, your whole journey, how it's been like, right? Let's quickly talk about your profile first as we begin. So what have you studied?
First of all, thank you for having me on this as a part of this conversation. I'm an architect. I graduated in 2011. I have 10 years of experience, which includes 2.5 years of running my own organization. Apart from that, I have been part of very large scale organizations in the Middle East, Dubai, as well as Kuwait. And that's it.
Amazing. So you've studied architecture, 10 years of brilliant experience in the industry. And if I remember correctly, you're planning to pursue your master's in management and business.
I'm planning to pursue an MBA from one of the universities in UK or Europe. Yeah.
Fantastic. And everyone knows the prerequisite to going and pursuing an MBA is giving your GMAT, right?
Yeah,
so that's exactly what we want to talk about. Let's understand your profile. When did you give the exam?
I gave the exam recently in the month of January, in 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And was this the only attempt that you gave, or were there multiple attempts?
There were multiple attempts actually. The first time I gave it, it was in the month of September 2020, and both the time I got actually the same score.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. So tell me something, Biswajit. What has your preparation been like for both the attempts? How did you prepare? When did you start preparing? Let's talk about that.
So for the first time, I prepared only for like 2 weeks. I was going through the official GMAT preparation material. And for mathematics, I just took an additional support from Visaco. There is a website. It's pretty decent. I was confident about mathematics as such, so I did not go full out on that. And I just wanted to see how much I could score in my first attempt. So that was a test. Although I was giving certain these official test series for that GMAT actually has, GMAC. Yeah. So I've given some of the test series as before the actual examination, and afterwards I just took EGMAT. There is a for English, because I thought I could have improved a bit more for that, and there were certain sections that I felt like I should have improved. So yeah, I took EGMAT as well.
Fantastic. So how many mock tests did you give, and did any of those diagnostic tests help you to prepare, and were there any sections that you focused on more than the other? What was that like?
So I gave a lot of mock tests actually. And one advice that I would like to give any aspirant is that do not give, this is a mistake that I made actually. So there are set number of questions in the official mock test. And as of now, what I have understood from giving mock tests of various different organizations, that the official mock tests are usually the nearest to the actual GMAT experience, right? Because but then again, they also have a limited set of questions, and once you have given them, you kind of the answers are registered, or for reading comprehension, you already know the context, because the first time you have read, some things are already registered in your memory. So you don't want to overdo it, right? So this is something that I did not understand at that point of time, and I kept on giving the GMAT official preparations one after another. And eventually what happened was, whenever I would give it the next time, some of the answers or some of the questions were already registered in my mind. So in essence, it gives you an inflated score,
Right.
right? So it's not very actual. And then when you go to the test centers and you encounter new questions altogether, so the amount of time you take to register a particular question gets significantly different in the actual test environment, but if I mean than the mock test that you have already given. So that is something that I would ask all the aspirants not to do. That's not a very good uh, way of proceeding this.
Absolutely. I think that's a really important point, that you raised. You're practicing a certain set of questions, you're practicing from a certain set of materials. It's important to go back and forth with other set of questions as well, right? Otherwise,
Yeah,
a lot of students, face this scenario where during the mock and during the diagnostic tests, there's an
yes,
inflated score, but then there's disappointment when you see the actual score,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. The
Right.
first
So,
time, so the
yeah.
first time that you give that mock test, you will get near actual score, but but you have two attempts for each and every test, right? But the second time you give that test, there would be certain questions that would be repeating, and you have already registered. So that particular time that you invest in reading a particular question, time is reduced in that mock test. So that
Right.
gives you that sense of inflation,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that brings me to the next question, and that is, what kind of material would you recommend folks to prepare from?
See, the official GMAT questions are definitely there. I mean, they are really good. Um, I have taken few. I mean, the test material for mathematics from Visaco is very comprehensive at a very low cost. That is
Right.
there, and one. I mean, more or less, I've seen that even eGMAT has a very decent test. Educational material. It's just that it's a bit lengthier. I
Hmm.
mean, for a person or for a student who has a lot of time, it is fine to go through that whole thing. But for a working professional like me, I would like the course to be a bit more comprehensive. So if
Right.
it was a bit more comprehensive, it would have helped my cause a little bit better.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think, at this point of time, I would love to introduce iSchoolConnect's test prep
Okay.
services to all the students. Of course, there's amazing test prep already available, but for anybody who is, looking at pursuing, and understanding how to give this test better,
Okay.
you're looking for material, for workshops, for online coaching from experts,
Hmm.
and of course, multiple mock tests that are available
Yeah.
with us. If you're looking for this entire package for GRE, GMAT, IELTS, TOEFL, SAT, then students can always reach out to us.
All right.
The details are going to be in the description. So for anybody who's watching this, you can always go ahead and check out the link in the description area, right? Feel free to ask questions as well in the comments. If you have any around the test prep service, we'll be more than happy to answer that as well. So, you know what, Biswajit, I actually want to know now. We understood how you've prepared. We understood how much time you took to put all of this together, the
Yeah.
material that you invested your time in. What was your score eventually after all the hard work?
Yeah, both the time actually I scored 680. Like I
Fantastic.
improved on mathematics, but kind of my score for verbal decreased because of a wrong approach that I took. I realized it later because
Right,
see, there are three parts of verbal, right? You have reading comprehension, you have reasoning, right? And you have the sentence correction,
right,
right? So I just wanted to reinforce my two strengths so that that was reading comprehension and critical reasoning. So
right.
I gave too much of time on those things, and I kind of did not study much for that, so that
Okay.
score got reduced. And
Right.
but I improved on the analytical writing assessment. I got 6 out of 6. And
Amazing.
yeah, but for critical reasoning the score was same.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. So anything over 650 is what we believe is a good score, right? Students will be able to get through some really good colleges. And of course, this has to be coupled with a very sincere and good profile, which I strongly believe you have, right, Biswajit?
Thank you.
So kudos on that. Also, just wanted to understand, you've been working on your profile with iSchoolConnect.
Yeah.
So far, what has your journey been like? Would you like to share a few thoughts around that?
Yeah, actually, it was a very wise decision. To be very honest, I mean, it's honest. It's an honest opinion, to be frank. The thing is that whenever you apply, you try to get into the best colleges, right? So you're not aware, but you're not aware of the selection processes, and there are very inherent, underlying elements that might come into your application process. For example, you know certain colleges prefer a particular kind of student background or particular amount of experience from a particular cohort, right?
Right,
So you may not understand that, but I think iSchool Connect gave me like uh, a proper insight to the colleges. I mean, they had given me around 20 colleges or something. Earlier, I was only going for the top colleges, and
right,
actually, after spending so much money on those, I did not get into those because although they have you can when you research on the website, you see a mean score, right? Mean
right,
GMAT score, and you say that okay, fine, this is fine. I have scored more than that, or I have achieved that particular milestone, so I should be able to get into that. But there are so many other factors that come into play. So
right,
for example, if I have 10 years of experience and they are only they prefer a class which has an average experience of like 5 or 6 years, so I might not be uh, I mean, I'll have to do extraordinarily on other aspects to get into that particular institution.
right.
uh, so these things I did not consider at the time of applying before I got in touch with iSchool Connect. But after a proper counseling, not just a single, like in course of 3-4 counseling sessions, we narrowed it down to like 15-20 colleges. iSchool Connect offered me like 15-20 colleges, and then after going through each of them, I decided to go with like around 10, and then like further reduction of up to 7 or 8 colleges which are actually achievable, which has good ranking and which are achievable.
Amazing. I'm so happy that this has been a seamless experience for you so far, and I'm confident that it will be a great journey beyond this as well. You
I
have
hope so.
yes, absolutely. So I wish you all the best for all of that is to come. To close it off and to wrap it up, I would love to hear a few closing remarks and suggestions that you might have for the students out there. Of course, for those who are preparing for their GMAT and in general who are planning to study abroad.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, congratulations on your new the study material that you are bringing to the student, to the aspirants for GRE, GMAT, SAT, and IELTS. Because I think from what I've the kind of professional experience I have had from you regarding the counseling, um I wish that it is actually translated into those study materials as well, and the students benefit immensely from that aspect as well.
Right.
That being said, the first thing is, before even going for GMAT, first of all, you'll have to understand why you are doing an MBA, right? So you have to work on your profile. You have to, be sure of, I mean, what is your career objectives? because even after GMAT, you will have so much of question and so much of essays, which will be asking you the same question, because GMAT is part of it. And there are many more steps to getting an admit in a particular college. So
Right.
first you have to ascertain that, work on your portfolio or profile, see what kind of questions they have, what all extracurricular activities or what else they look
Right.
for in a student. Then give around 3 to 4 months of time for appearing for GMAT, because I think you may be very good at particular aspect. It's fine if you're confident, but I think optimum time would be 3 to 4 months. If you don't
Right.
have additional responsibilities, if you have, then even it is even better that you give a little bit more to it, because the GMAT test is a very expensive affair, right? So you
Absolutely.
want to get it right in the first time. And then again, as far as the components are considered, I would say my weakest point was sentence correction, right? So I kind of neglected it and I had some repercussions. So don't get fixated on the ones that you are already good at. Try to balance it out. Like if
Right.
you're weak at something, try to improve it while maintaining the proper score for the ones that you already are good at.
Right.
And when you give a mock test, you are giving it in your own secure environment. But the GMAT test conditions are very different. I mean, you have anxiety and you have, I don't know, there are some people who cope up with
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it in a different way, but there is certain amount of pressure that you have on the test day. So however, I mean, you must optimize your time, the time you have spent on a particular question, because eventually the issues that I have faced is that I have scored good on the initial questions because I took time, and because I did not spare time for the later half of the questions. I suddenly started like I had to rush through those questions, and
Right.
that is why the score could not be what it could be. Everybody could solve a particular question, right? But it is the uh, solving the question in the appropriate amount of time, that is the key.
Absolutely.
So you have to balance your entire the entire exam and give optimum time to a particular question, and it is exhausting. So try to relax as much as possible.
Very true. Very true, right? I mean, Biswaji, these are some very important pointers that I'm not sure if students are hearing enough about, but things as simple as spacing out your diagnostic tests, spacing out
Yeah,
your mock tests, right? Not taking them again and again, because that will skew your understanding of how good you are with the
yeah,
questions. Then, of course, timing your questions, not more than 3 minutes per question to be invested. You have to then, guess and move forward, because
mm,
otherwise you're missing out on something way bigger, and that is a whole lot of questions at large,
mm, yeah,
right? And so important, right? It's completely underplayed that you will feel stressed, you will feel anxiety, and it's high time that we just put it out there and talk about it, that it's important for you to try and practice meditation, not just during the last 5 days or 6 days, but
mm,
learn to get into that habit of keeping your calm. Practice those 10 seconds that you need to take between every few questions during your mock preparation time as well, right?
yeah,
Because all of those things, you will go to the test center, and if you suddenly want to give yourself those 10 seconds, that will only create more anxiety on you, that, oh my god, how can I spend 10 seconds or 15 seconds every now and then, because that will again add more pressure, and then it becomes a vicious circle. So truly learn to stay calm, practice responsibly, and go through as much good study material as possible, because at the end of the day, these are the things that will all come together and help you with the whole process of getting a good score
yeah.
through your GMAT test, right? So this has been an incredible chat with you, Biswajit. I really hope and wish the best for your forthcoming future and career.
Thank you so much. The pleasure was mine. Thank you for connecting with me.
Thank you so much, Biswaji. Absolute pleasure connecting with you. For everyone who's watching this, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more content on these lines, if you're planning to study abroad. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed watching it. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer all your queries in the comment section. So feel free to leave your questions right there. All the details to connect with us and to learn about the test prep services are mentioned in the description. Until next time, this is Malvika signing off along with Biswajit. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.